Yeah, we have another video today. We continue with our exercise on how we are supposed to read, understand, and tackle the examination questions on practical biology practical. We have another question today what we're going to solve. Let us yeah, we are going to observe a different type of practical questions on national examination, and then you're going to deal with our classification. The principle is the same as when you get the question, you have to read carefully, and then you try to observe the specimen you have been given, and then you identify the specimen, know the common names, and then later on answer the questions from your question paper. Now read the questions. This is the question, now the part of the question, that you have been provided with the specimen P, Q, and R. You as examiner. Examine them carefully. Then answer the questions that follows. So you provided the specimen P, Q, and R. You have to observe the specimen, examine the specimen, and then answer the question that follows. Yeah. Now we have specimen P. Specimen P. I have the specimen P. This one, the specimen P. You see? The specimen P. I have a specimen Q. The specimen Q. You see the specimen Q? And we also have a specimen R. Specimen R. This is the specimen which have been given. So you have to observe the specimen carefully. And then what next? You have to answer the questions which have been asked. Now, part A, Roman A. Classify the specimen P, Q, and R to phylum or division level. You are supposed to classify the specimen P, the specimen Q, and the specimen R to the phylum level. The phylum level, which is the second lane in classification. So it means that you have to give the kingdom of the specimen, and also you have to give the phylum of the specimen or the division of the specimen. If it is a plant, so that give the division of the specimen. If it's an animal, give the phylum of the specimen. Okay? Yeah. Roman 2. What are the two observable features you use to place the specimen P and the Q to their respective kingdoms? After classifying this specimen in their kingdom, now what the observed features? The features which you observe by using your naked eye, which convince you to place those specimens on a particular kingdom. Right? Yeah, that is Roman 2. Part A. Part B. Draw a well-labeled diagram of the specimen P. You are supposed to draw a well-labeled diagram of the specimen P. That is part B. Part C, Roman 1. What is the habitant of the specimen Q? Explain. What are the habitants of the specimen Q? What are the habitants? And also, Roman 2. Why it is important for biology students to know the habitat of the specimen Q? Why it is important? You, as a biology student, to understand the habitat of this specimen. Why it is important? And the question number 3, Roman 3, identify the 3 observable features which help specimen Q to adapt its environment. So after knowing the environment that you have the specimen, so that you have to observe the specimen. So give the 3 features which enable you that this should be placed in this habitat, or this can be something in this habitat, so that the observable features, what will be observed to make this specimen to adapt to their environment or their habitat where they are living. And the party, Roman D, in what ways the representative members of the kingdom in the specimen Q, this is specimen Q, say that in what ways the representative members of the kingdom of this specimen Q belongs are advantages to industrial development in Tanzania. Give 3 advantages. What are the advantages of the kingdom of this which can be placed this specimen industrially in your country? What are the advantages? Yeah. Now let us give the possible answers that how it can be that with the factors that as you have observe, make the observation, record it, and report. Draw the whole sample or the part of the specimen or section, label the important points. If I'm giving that to draw, make sure that you draw. If the whole specimen or part of the specimen, and then you label the important points which are required. Make the observation with our sense organs. Use your sense organs to make the observation, and also use the materials provided. The material provided in the examination is the only which you can be using. Conduct the activities, procedures, and also make a result and conclusion, and then answer the questions. Now let us go to first you have to identify the specimen P is a mushroom. The specimen C, the specimen P is the mushroom. Specimen P is the mushroom. And the specimen Q is the bee seedling. Now go straight forward to the questions. That's the question number 1. You are supposed to classify the specimen Q, PQ, and R to the phylum or division level. Let us start with the specimen P, which is the mushroom. After identifying that the specimen P is the mushroom. So mushroom, the kingdom of mushroom is the fungi kingdom. The kingdom of mushroom is the fungi kingdom. The phylum of mushroom is the Bastiomycota. It's the Bastiomycota. So the phylum of this kingdom fungi where the mushroom are found is known as the Bastiomycota. The specimen Q is the bee seed. What are the kingdom? The kingdom of the seedling cells. The kingdom is the kingdom plantae. The kingdom plantae. The division of this bee seedling is the division in Angiospermophyta. The division is the Angiospermophyta. Roman 3, the specimen R, which is the crab. The crab, the kingdom of crab is the kingdom Animalia. The phylum is the phylum Arthropoda. The phylum Arthropoda. So classify the specimen P, Q, and R to phylum or division level, it means that we have this classification as you are supposed to attempt the question to give the precisely to brief the point like as I've been shown. So that let us go to part Roman 2. Two observable features used to press the specimen P and Q on their respective kingdoms. That is why the specimen P, which is the mushroom, have been placed in the kingdom fungi, and the why this specimen Q, which the bean seed, have been placed in the kingdom plantae. Now let us see the possible answers that you start in the specimen P. What are the observable features which makes us or making us to place the proper kingdom? Yeah, the mushroom have a structure somewhere which is known as the hyphae, the presence of hyphae. The hyphae is a main structure which are found in the kingdom fungi and not in the other kingdom. That's why this specimen have been placed in the kingdom fungi, because the hyphae is one of the observed features or the characteristics which are found in the fungi kingdom. Yeah, another reason that is absence of roots, stem, and the leaves. Yeah, the mushrooms, they don't have roots, they don't have stem, they don't have leaves. This also is a characteristic of the fungi. Fungi kingdom, they don't have roots, they don't have stem, they don't have leaves. So those are the observable means that which you observe. There's no root, no stem, no leaves. So that this convinced me that this should be placed in the kingdom fungi, the observer, which you can observe. Let us go to the next specimen Q, which is the bean syndrome. That is specimen Q observer features which makes the specimen put in the respective kingdom. Is that one is the presence of the green color. The presence of green color. Okay? Do you observe it? That is the specimen having the green color. So this green color is the characteristics of the plant kingdom. So that the presence of green color chlorophyll, which is necessary for photosynthesis, is the major characteristic of the characteristic in the kingdom plantae. Another, the organs are differentiated into leaves, stem, and the roots. The presence of leaf, the presence of stem, the presence of root is one of the main characteristics of the plants. So that these plants, they have the leaves. These are the leaves. They have the leaves. They have the stem, and also they have the roots. So the leaves, the stem, and the roots is the characteristic of the kingdom plantae. The kingdom plantae. Yeah, partly where you are supposed to draw a well-leveled diagram of specimen P. Specimen P is the mushroom, so that you are supposed to draw a good, neat, a large, neat, bolded, headed diagram. Yeah, this is the diagram. That the diagram that should put when at the top of your diagram, use the capital letters. And when you decide to use, you write the heading of the picture at the bottom. You can use it as small letters, so that this diagram of the mushroom, and that will be labeled. This the part is known as the cape. This is the pillars. The pillars. We have the gills. This is the gills that have been observed there. We have the ring. Somewhere the ring. We have the vulva. This part. we have the hypha, this one, we have the stem, okay, so that you can find that this is the real diagram of the mushroom. It is clear, it is clear. Have means that the heading is there. This is not what caption is there. The diagram is large, very neat, well leveled. Well leveled. Yeah, let us go to part C, Roman 1. The habitat of the specimen Q. Means the specimen Q is the being serine. The habitat of this specimen is the terrestrial habitat. You can find the terrestrial habitat, not aquatic or whatever, so that it can be available on the land, the terrestrial, on the land, where you can find this kind of the specimen. Roman 2, I've said that explain. That Roman 2, I've been saying that in the question Roman 2, I've been saying that why it is important for a biology student, you as a biology student, to know the habitat of the specimen Q. Why it is important? It is important because this kind of the living organism, they can survive and they grow in many terrestrial difficult habitats. So that you can find they can be having a large range where they can survive, they can grow well, they can survive, so that you are supposed to, it is important to understand their habitats, because it is very useful to us in our life. Yeah, Roman 3, that the 3 observable features which help specimen Q to adapt its habitat. Why this specimen Q? The observable features, the features which I observe to make this kind of specimen to survive in their habitats, terrestrial habitats, on the land. Yeah, we have. I observe the specimen. So the features that they have a taproot. They have a taproot. This is the taproot. They have a taproot. This is the taproot. So this taproot enables this plant to reach the deepest source of water, so that this taproot penetrates to find water, even the deep water table, so that this taproot can be reached, so that this plant can be able to survive in the habitat or in the environment. That is observable. I did observe this. The taproot is there. Okay. Another observable feature, that lateral and hair roots are present to observe water in large surface area. So we have the lateral roots and the hair roots. These are lateral roots. So there's a good number of the lateral roots. These lateral roots tends to absorb the water from the soil, so that the plant gets the water required for transportation or for making their own food. So that the presence of these hairs can be helping these kind of the plants to survive well in their habitats. Another point, the presence of green leaves. We have the green leaves here. We have the green leaves. The presence of the green leaves, which traps the sunlight. These green leaves, they trap the sunlight from the sun to manufacture their own foods through the process of photosynthesis. It means that this green color tends to trap the sunlight rays, so that to allow the process of photosynthesis to take place in a proper way. So the presence of green, they can be helping this to survive in their habitats. Number 4, they have a broad leaves. They have a broad leaves. This you can see this is a broad leaf, not narrow leaves. They have a broad leaves. These broad leaves area, increases the surface area, for photosynthesis process. That is the photosynthesis process where the plants manufacture their own foods, so that the land surface is also reserve features which enable these plants to survive well, to adapt to the environment, because this large surface, they increase the surface area where the process can take place, so that the plants can be manufacturing their own foods in a good quantity. Part B. What are the three advantages of the representative members of the kingdom in which specimen Q belongs? Specimen Q belongs in the kingdom plantae. And also when we talk about kingdom plantae, it means that we have a lot of plants. We have a lot of it. So what are the advantages? What are the advantages of this kingdom? That is, this the specimen we get that they are used in paper made from wood pulp. So that this kingdom, the member of this kingdom, of this specimen, they are used to make papers like this one, so that these papers have been made from the materials of this kingdom, so that it's advantage industrial in our country. And also, they are used to make clothes. The clothes we have this one. This is the product of what? Of cotton. The product of cotton, which cotton also is in this kingdom plantae, so that cotton. This is in an industrial product, so that it's an advantage that from this kingdom we get the clothes which we are wearing. Number 3, they are used for timber. Some of the members of the kingdom, they are used for medicine. Some are used for food. Some are used for fabrics industries. So that's also advantage number 3. We have to tell that we all give the only 3 advantages, so that we have an extra advantages. One, that they produce nectar. They produce nectar used by bees as a food, and to produce honey and the wax. This is another advantage, that they are used for making baskets and mats. For example, the siso product. Such products you get the baskets and the mats. I hope that you know baskets and mats, right? Yeah. Now let us sum up our lesson. That is, we had 3 specimens. Specimen P, which was the mushroom. Specimen Q, which was the big seed, and the specimen R, which was the crabs. And they were classified to their proper kingdoms and their proper phylum according to the question. And then also, we have dealing a lot with the specimen Q. We have seen the advantages of specimen Q with the big seed. We have seen that they have a good number of advantages in our life. And also we have seen that the habitats where this kind of specimen can be performed. And we also have seen that what are the features which makes this kind of the specimen to adapt in their environment. We have seen that they have a taproot, which makes the plant to absorb the water from the deep layer, deep layer of water tables. And also I find that they have green color, which makes the plants to manufacture their own foods in the environment. And also they have the rooty hairs, which normally absorbs the water, and also their leaves, they are broad, so that increases the surface area for photosynthesis to take place. Okay, thank you very much. Let us meet next period for another attempting question.